Hi, so this is my response for gender and religion. So we're asked to answer the questions: how does your values, faiths, and beliefs shape your views of women's roles in leadership, both inside and outside the domains of religion? Um, it's a little difficult question. Just because, you read the Bible and you know how submissive, women were in there, in the Bible, or depicted in the Bible. They're at the men's or their husbands' call all the time. And it's, in respect to that, I see that as like a guideline. But the way I was raised by a single mom, and everybody in my family were strong women who worked, and they did what they needed to do to um, supply for their family. Basically, my mother, obviously, she was the breadwinner, and my father was non-existent at the time. And I know in retrospect, like if we were to be in, times of the Bible, or the times of like how religion's depicted, she would have been outcasted in Catholicism. We, yeah, she would have been outcasted. So it's kind of hard to, look at women's roles and leadership in, depicted in the Bible. But then it's also hard to look at it now because there are two different times. Women are asked to do two different things during the era, and now we're able to do a lot more. Not as much as men, but significantly more than back then. So the second question is: does this differ from your view of women's roles in sport? No. Like, no. Anything, anything a man can do, we probably can do better. And that's not to say that men haven't worked hard to get to where they are. They had to work a little less for it, but we're working just as hard for it. And um, this whole like topic kind of like makes me a little heated, a little mad, just because for me I was trying to go professional. I was trying to be a professional basketball player. And the road to actually getting there is really difficult. And the road to getting to anything professionally is really difficult. But what I'm at is, do I try and get paid to play basketball, or do I try to get paid to coach basketball? So if this is playing and if this is coaching, this is professional, and this is, not obviously not professional, it's collegiate. Which one am I going to get paid more? I'm going to get paid more to coach than I am to play. And there was this statistic, and I forget which book it was, but it was saying that the stipend, or the budget for the WNBA wasn't nearly as close to what Kobe got paid in 2011, 2012 basketball season. And it's like, oh man, oh boy. And and that's why mainly women go overseas to get paid more over there, and then they come back and they play again in the WNBA, or they just go overseas in general because there's more opportunity to play out there, and then to keep playing. So no, that doesn't differ my view on women's role in sports. We should be in there. We should have just as many categories as men do in the Olympics, which awesomely we do. A lot more women participate in this past Olympics than they had any other time, so that was great. But it's still an uphill climb despite Title IX being passed. It's still an uphill climb, and even then, you have to bring up media and how much it's publicized, how much women's sports in general is publicized. I made a note in my writing that you don't see WNBA that much advertised unless you're on Twitter and you follow the WNBA account. And it's ridiculous. The whole thing's ridiculous. But I know that in time that things are gonna change soon, I hope. But if not, then I hope I'm the one leading everybody to this change. Alright, can't wait to watch you guys' responses.